My sister revealed my biggest secret at my wedding, so I revealed hers. Weddings are supposed to be about love, unity, and celebration, but mine turned into a revenge story I never planned, but don't regret for a single second. My sister Emily and I were born just 2 years apart. Growing up, we were inseparable. Matching dresses, shared secrets, endless laughter. But somewhere along the way, our bond started to crack. It wasn't one big thing, just small cuts that added up over time. She was always the golden child. Louder, prettier, funnier, the one everyone noticed first. I was the quiet, responsible one, the one who cleaned up after her, who fixed things when she messed up. Still, I loved her. She was my sister. Even when she hurt me, I kept forgiving her. When I met Ryan, I thought things would finally change. He adored me, made me feel seen in a way I hadn't before. Emily liked him too, a little too much at first, but I brushed it off. She flirted with everyone. That was just Emily. When Ryan proposed, Emily screamed louder than I did. She cried happy tears, said she couldn't wait to plan everything with me, and despite a little voice in my head whispering not to, I made her my maid of honor. It felt right. She was my sister after all. The months before the wedding were stressful. Emily complained constantly about the bridesmaid dresses, the rehearsal schedule, even the catering. I told myself it was just stress, that she meant well. But on my wedding day, I realized just how wrong I was. Everything was perfect. The weather, the music, the ceremony. I remember looking out at all our friends and family thinking, this is it, the happiest day of my life. Then came the reception. The lights dimmed, and Emily walked up to the mic to give her speech. She smiled, and that perfect charming smile of hers, Mama began. I've known my sister my whole life. I've seen her at her best and her worst, but no matter what, she always finds a way to keep going. Everyone smiled. I relaxed a little. She was doing great. Then she said, I always admired how strong she was, even after that dark time she went through in college, the one she never really talks about. But hey, we all have secrets, right? The air shifted. The room went still. My stomach dropped. That dark time she was referring to wasn't just any secret. It was something I had buried deep, a decision I made at 19 when I was scared, broke, and alone. I had gotten pregnant, and I'd chosen to have an abortion. Only Emily knew. She'd held me while I cried. She swore she'd take it to her grave. And now, here she was, turning my pain into her punchline. She finished her speech with a toast to my sister for finding her happily ever after no matter what she's been through. Cheers. Laughter, applause, glasses clinking. But I couldn't hear any of it. I sat there, frozen, forcing a smile as my entire world blurred around me. My mother wouldn't meet my eyes. My father looked like he'd seen a ghost. And Ryan, my sweet, kind Ryan, just squeezed my hand and whispered, it's okay, but it wasn't. That night, when the guests left, I found Emily outside smoking by the pool. She looked smug. Why would you do that? I asked, voice shaking. She shrugged. Relax. I didn't even say what it was. People just assumed. You're being dramatic. I wanted to scream. Instead, I walked away because I knew one thing. Revenge always tastes better when it's cold. 6 months later, Emily threw a housewarming party with her boyfriend James. She'd been bragging for months about how perfect he was, how he was going to propose any day now. I went, pretending everything was fine. I smiled, I hugged, I toasted, but inside, I was waiting. At one point, she stood up to make a toast about how happy she was, how everything in her life was finally falling into place. And that's when I decided it was time. I clinked my glass and said, I just want to say how proud I am of my sister. After everything she's been through, it's amazing to see her happy again, especially after that whole James's best friend incident. The room went silent. James turned to her confused. What incident? Emily's face went pale. I just smiled and said, oh, you didn't know? Never mind. That's not my story to tell. I walked out. She called me that night screaming. I didn't answer. She texted me, you're a monster. Maybe I am, but monsters are made, not born. A few weeks later, James broke up with her. My parents sided with her at first until she finally admitted what she'd done to me at my wedding. Then the silence began. Now, 2 years later, we barely speak. She watches my life from afar, my marriage, my new home, the peace she can't find anymore. And sometimes when I think back to that night at my wedding, I still hear her voice saying, cheers to second chances. And I whisper to myself, yeah, cheers to payback.